everybody hear me okay? Am I coming through? Maybe a thumbs up or yeah. Really cool. Is my audio working? Yeah, okay, cool. I'll wait another minute here, see if, see some people still maybe coming on. All right, well, I'll just get right into it. Well, thank you for coming to my exhibition opening. It's called Domestic Inferno. My name is James Piatt. Oh, thanks. And maybe first I'll introduce myself and talk a little bit about art in general, and go into a bit about what this exhibition is all about, and then I'll walk through some of the pieces and try to explain some of them. I'm sure that's what you want to see. So originally from San Diego, and professionally I'm an industrial designer, so I design consumer products, everything from backpacks to faucets and sinks and cameras, countertop appliances, and all kinds of stuff, and possibly even have something I worked on. Growing up in San Diego, both my parents were both artists and art teachers, and my father was taught sculpture at UCSD, and his mentors were like John Baldessari and David and Ellie Anton, and a lot of these old school conceptual artists. So that way of thinking, I think he picked a lot of that up, and then I think from that I ended up inheriting it as well. Unfortunately my father, he passed away this year, but I did include a couple of his big sculptures here, as well as a slideshow on a slide projector of a lot of his work, going back to the 60s and 70s. So a little bit about art, what my process. I think there's about five. There's a lot of things I think about when I'm making art. There's like five main things that I always think about, and one being that art could be really anything. It could be object. It could be sound. It could be a feeling or a thought. So to me, that really frees me up what I could do. And the other thing is that if you have an idea, like a really crazy idea, you could actually make it a reality. So that's what I do a lot of time is I'll be out somewhere, I'll be doing something, and I'll a couple thoughts converge, and then I have an idea, so I'll write it down, and eventually have a long list of ideas about a lot of different things, and ranging from it could be products or furniture or handbags or art. And I noticed the last few years ago that my art list ideas was really long, and I haven't really made much art. So it's really a new thing for me in the last few years. The other thing is art is always kinetic. So even a painting or a static sculpture like behind me, you experience it as a sequence of events through time. and then later on in your memory, and that affects like how you perceive things in the future. Another thing too is ambiguity is really important. A lot of what I do, it looks really obvious, but then think about it. Hopefully there's different reads and different ways to interpret it. Last thing is something that LA artist he's born in LA, but he's Japanese American. Isamu Noguchi said was that you should always make art with the thought that no one else will ever see it, and that just keeps it pure to your own vision, your own thought process, instead of thinking about, well, who's going to look at it, who am I going to sell it to, and that kind of thing. So I guess I'll walk through the gallery here and show you some of the pieces, and maybe we'll first look at the ones right across here and then get back to the ones behind me. So to give you a sense of scale, it's a fairly big painting. This is called the Shroud of Turin in Putty, and the way I've been approaching my paintings lately is that it's kind of like Rauschenberg, the way he does his. It's instead of usually paintings are. It's a window into another world, and you have illusion of depth, and you're trying to take someone somewhere else. Whereas Rauschenberg, his paintings are all about what's right on the surface. So I even don't really use paint. The subject matter is the material I'm using too. So this is about 10 pounds of actual silly putty. And I don't know if you're like me, as a kid, I had like the little egg of silly putty, and it was it was like this magical material where you could break it, you could bounce it on the ground, you could make it in different shapes, and you could transfer images from newspapers and press them. So basically what I did here is I made a painting of the Shroud of Turin in the type of ink that transfers the silly putty, and then rolled out the silly putty and then pressed it onto the painting and then transferred it to the screen. So, and the other challenge was being able to, silly putty, you put it in a box or a bucket, and silly putty wants to take the shape of the bucket, it just kind of melts. So getting it to stay on a painting was a challenge. It's literally suspended on a screen. So it's that guy. The next one here, I'm sure you like. Maybe I'll get on this side so I'm not making a shadow there. So this one's called Sunday Afternoon on the banks of the LA River. So it's a Seurat painting, pointless painting about delightful afternoon, and that's kind of how I see this guy. But of course, it's a Swiss Army knife with various like pleasuring devices coming out of it, just to give you a better view. And it's all 3D printed. let's see. So I think I'll free this thing here. So another product. It's more of a art piece, but also an actual product. Was wine glass mask. Let's see here. So I made an edition of about 16 of these in iridescent glass, as well as clear, and the holes, the glass are drilled out with sound. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So I have a little. I'm not much of a wine drinker, but I have a little bit of bourbon in there, so it's great. Yeah, it just brings out the flavor. So I'll go back the other side and show you a couple of the other pieces. Some may look a little familiar. So this one is called Full Circle, and in the 30s there was an art movement called the Futurists in Italy, and they came about the same time as Mussolini, and there's a famous sculpture of a revolved profile of Mussolini, and I did mine of course Donald Trump, so kind of get an idea there. It's 3D printed. I have my name in there as well. Dump Trump. We'll see. Hopefully next week. I'm really looking forward to it. And this is recognizable historical figure too. And this piece is called the Discovery, and it's what I was really thinking about is when you go climb a mountain or land on the moon or something like that, you kind of like claim ownership of that, and then you stick your nation's flag in it. And I kind of feel the same way, ways some people approach religion as well. And one of the details, the way this is done, it's all 3D printed, and I wanted it to feel like the surface of the earth. And I was looking at different types of sand and rocks and things like that, and ended up covering the entire body with this mica flake, and each one of those are put on there and glued on individually. But it gives it kind of an impressionist appearance to it. So, but sure, a lot of people won't be happy about that one. But we'll see. Of course, it's bigger installation here. This is called Airheads, and of course, thanks, Art. I was initially thinking that, pre-COVID days, we'd have an art opening, and this room would be, full of people. And these would kind of be mingling in with the people. But these are all, these were 3D printed faces, so you could see they kind of vanish when it comes around. But then you could see it more in profile with the highlights. And we might have, after the show, probably have a dance party down here with the Airheads could start a band, James Piatt and the Airheads, maybe. Let's see. So I'll go to the display, or actually show you one of my paintings as well. Oh, thanks. So this one's a little dark, but it's a painting on a screen. And it's painted with actual tar from the La Brea tar pits. So I went to the excavation site and I got tar. And it's kind of, to me, it's like trying to dissect and break down, what art is. And it's kind of, this is almost like a filter where since it's a screen, it's the art is what ends up being trapped on the surface of the screen. Oh, thanks. Yeah, hopefully get the Airheads in there. Thanks. So I'll go over the display case here. Some of these are new. Some of them I've done a few years ago. This one is called they're little toys, and you wind them up and they flip over, and they're flipping houses. So it's something people love to do in LA. Below them, it's a semi-religious sculpture, as you can see, and I did these handbags a while back, finger trap handbags, where grabs onto your fingertips. Thanks. Sorry I didn't accept your invite. I don't really do this very often, so I don't know. Some of the eyewear, that's the fenestration glass. Fenestration is the arrangement of windows on a building, and these are comb glasses, kind of surrealist, and it's referencing a couple sculptures. This guy is called Stockholm eyewear, and it's really about smart Google Glass, kind of making fun of that. Another handbag I did was a Persuader bag that it looks like a machine gun. And the top one was actually exhibited at the Design Museum in Frankfurt, Germany, along with some of the, Barbara Kruger and Philip Stark and some other people I like were in the show. But this one is Siamese Lamp. So it's two conjoined lamps, but if you look at the on the side, that's the part of the master mold for the ceramics that had made in LA. So the mold was manufactured in LA, and the production of the ceramic, as well as the shade and the assembly. And I did about 15 of them a while back. Let's see. So going into the other room, some of my dad's pieces. It's a dotted line structure. It's a dotted line crib, and which company did the mold? They were in Frogtown, and he was the best mold maker. And this old man in a building actually right down the street, and they're long out of business. And so is the ceramic manufacturer. So a lot of that's kind of moved to China, unfortunately. This one's really cool. It's called Natural Prop, and it's it's one of my dad's sculptures, taxidermy sculptures, and it's he's referencing this other artist, Richard Serra, who did abstract steel sculptures that were propped against each other and were dangerous. So he wanted to use two kind of dangerous animals, and one of them is domestic Doberman pincer, and then also a baboon. So I'll move in here. So the slideshow, some of my dad's work, he's really experimental. This was one actually in Del Mar, and he went out with his buddy, and they had dry ice and dyes and all kinds of chemicals and stuff, and just kind of dumped them in the wetlands. And it was kind of like landscape painting, but going out into the landscape and then affecting the landscape, and then photo documenting it. And then later on, some of it caught fire, I think that might be him there. He did a bunch of smoke sculptures, smoke installations. There's, if you want to see more of his work, I did a website for him a while ago. It's called JimPiatt.org. But make sure you check it out. One more thing is one of my older classic pieces, the Pillory dinette. So it's basically a laminate dinette table that you could lock your head and hands in and be forced to eat tuna casserole or something. That's mostly it. Any questions, comments, anything like that? I was thinking I might do this. Thanks, Alan. I might do this, some sort of event like this every so often along with the show. Maybe I'll try making a piece or look through my list of ideas or something. Thanks, Tracy. Appreciate it. Thanks, Arthur. If you want more, or you want to schedule time to come by, I have the space. Installation will be here through mid-January, and people are welcome to schedule time to come in and check it out, and of course masked and distance and everything. Thank you very much. Yep. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much.